And so now as you notice those themes, that anything related to the feeling of uncertainty or the possibility of responsibility is potentially going to be a trigger, what do you do to prepare for when you're going to be anxious?
Okay. Well, one thing I really do is I try to recognize some of the signals, like um, if it starts with what if, like what if this happens, what if that, I I right away I try to kind of step back from my thoughts, say, okay, this is really I'm recognizing this is my anxiety or this is my OCD, and I try to do practice being mindful, like what am I doing right now? Whatever's in the future is going to have to, play itself out in the future. There's no way of knowing what will happen down the road. And how am I, and try to just put it back to what I'm doing right now. And and with COVID, I've gotten to where, I look at the science, if I had a scratchy throat, oh gosh, all of a sudden I thought, could it be COVID? Oh dear, am I a carrier? And it would just start all of that. And I'm very grateful for COVID. I'm very grateful for Huddle because I didn't recognize that was my OCD, and that was my anxiety. I was thinking, well, if I'm thinking it, there must be some truth in it, or I wouldn't be thinking it. And then I'd get like sensitized and have the anxiety, and it would just start that whole loop. And I think another thing that's helping me is.
Do you mind if I actually interrupt you there? Can you hold the thought you're having? Yeah. So I just want to mirror back to you what you're saying, because you're hitting on a lot of really great points. So one of the things you're saying is getting distant from thoughts. So you've learned to see a thought as a thought, that a thought is just a thought. It's not a message, threat, or prediction. And that's a really big shift from what you just said, that you had the belief before, like if I'm having a thought, there must be something important about it. And I wouldn't be thinking about it if it wasn't truth or it wasn't important. So that shift from, if I have a thought, it must mean something and I must pay attention to it, to thoughts are just thoughts. They can intrude kind of against my will. I don't have control over what arrives in my mind. And it's okay to get distance from or let thoughts go. That's a huge shift in your relationship with your mind. And then what you were also talking about is, after noticing that you're having a thought and it's arriving with sensations, it's arriving with a whoosh, then you can bring yourself back to the present moment. So you don't have to go off into the future or into the past just because of the sensations you're feeling as you're having that thought, but you try to focus on the present. So that was just great. Thank you for, or I'm happy to hear that you're using those skills. Was there something else you were going to say that you now do?
Gosh, I can't remember now. But
sorry for cutting you off.
But oh no, I know. That is okay. Is this a problem? I try to figure, is this a problem to solve? And if it is a problem to solve, is it something that is urgent? Is it emergency? Well, if it's not an emergency, I can take a deep breath, give myself time to process it, and I recognize too, though, that even if I'm still having those anxious feelings or my face gets flushed and hot, it still is not it's a signal. I guess that's what you call it. Learning the language around OCD and anxiety is really helpful to me now, and also more than learning it is then I know how to apply it. And so recognizing that even if I'm still feeling the anxiety, it doesn't mean that it's true, and I'm going to get through it. And that's just a part of me, and that hopefully it may be there at times, ongoing for a long time, but I really feel I'm getting a handle on recognizing it and how to deal with it, and know that it may be back, but I'll be able to get through it.